Mr. Harris, let's spin the globe just a bit and look at Iran. Conservatives, I've heard them on national news say they believe Iran will get a bomb, nuclear weapon, sooner or later, in spite of the international sanctions. If you're a U.S. Senator representing North Carolina and all that military and Iran gets the bomb, what do you come back home and tell our military families to expect?
Well, I think without question that we must recognize the seriousness of that threat. We all know that one of the things that has happened is we've seen America's standing and reputation on the world stage suffer under this president, that our allies are not even certain that we have their backs. In fact, I'm convinced that Benjamin Netanyahu has spent far too many sleepless nights uncertain that should Israel be attacked, whether or not this president and this administration would actually have his back. So I believe it is critical that we let our allies know that we are going to stand strong with them. And I believe, in specific answer to your questions, our military families would need to know that they needed to be on alert, that action would need to be perhaps taken. My hope is that we're going to be able to stop the development of that bomb, even beyond economic sanctions if it becomes necessary, because it's that critical to stability in the Middle East.
Mr. Tillis.
Kelly, it's just another example where Kay Hagan sat idly by as the president has weakened our position in the Middle East. Iran having a nuclear weapon is unacceptable, and we have to do everything within our power to prevent that from happening. I don't accept the hypothetical that, hey, someday they may have it. We have to do everything to prevent that from happening. The Iranian leadership have said that they get a nuclear bomb, they'll launch one on Israel. They can't even recognize Israel's right to exist. We have to stand up for Israel. We have to stand up for the world, because a nuclear Iran makes this a very dangerous place. And this president's already made it more dangerous by reducing sanctions. He should be increasing sanctions. Kay Hagan should be asking the president, demanding that the president, in the home of the third highest military concentration in this nation, more families here than any but 2 other states, we should be protecting those people by making sure Iran never has a nuclear weapon, and I'll fight every single day for that purpose.
Mr. Brennan.
It's safer for America if Iran does not have it. Israel, being our ally in that area, the only democracy that we support, it's crucial that they have their defenses prepared. It goes back again for these years and years, and Ms. Hagan doing nothing by, in the sense of Obama's policies have just weakened us so much that we're going to have to make a decision at a haste. That can't occur. We have to make sure we go back to where we're supposed to be in strength. But the power that we have with Iran there, we have the military, we have the economics, we just have to flex that muscle, protect that wise. But Israel's crucial at that point. A safe Israel's a safe America.
Ms. Grant, the bomb possibilities with Iran, Israel, and U.S. policy, what would you do as senator? What would you tell us?
I would tell you that it's a very real possibility. I would tell you that I have lost brothers and sisters in the military in Iraq, Afghanistan. The Middle East is not stable, and we must do everything we can to prevent Iran from getting a nuclear weapon. We must stand with Israel, because there is no doubt that those people dislike America immensely. And we cannot for an instant think that they will not do anything and everything they can to attack us and to attack those who are allied with us. For me, I would tell my military families exactly what I told them when we were in. Be prepared that we may have to go to war with Iran, but we will do everything, sanctions, military, whatever it takes, so that they do not have a nuclear bomb, because we will not be safe once they have it. Make no mistake that it may not be just Israel that they attack, and we as a nation are not prepared for it.
Mr. Tillis, half minute.
Yeah, and Kelly, as late as today, Secretary of State Kerry made a comment that shows that they're trying to appease the people that actually want to destroy Israel and destroy free people all over this nation. We need to make it very clear to anyone in the Middle East that the table stakes for even come to the table for the United States is to recognize Israel's right to exist and to renounce terrorism. We're talking about a nation that not only doesn't recognize Israel's right to exist, but they sponsor terrorism. That has to stop.